welcome back, everybody, to the Pivot Point of View. I'm Destri Millsap along with Becky Pearson, and we are back. We have had some busy weeks. We've been at bonus race. Becky was at Nebraska High School Finals. We had an amazing guest in Sonia Walls. That was incredible. If you guys haven't heard those two, part one and part two, go back and listen to it about parenting a high level kid. I mean, I think everybody needs to hear that, no matter what sport you're around. I think you need to hear it. Getting your kid in high level competition, what to do if they have a target on their back, and how to overcome that adversity, and then also just keeping your kids safe in today's world. I mean, so much of that stuff is overlooked and not talked about enough. So, two amazing episodes with Sonia, absolutely awesome. Thank you to her for coming on here and sharing her story. Thank you so much, Sonia. And we'll jump right into it. So Becky came down to Oklahoma, and we went to bonus race finals in Shawnee. There was 1,100 entries, and we had a little fun. She came down the night before. We rehearsed kind of what we were going to do for our clinic that afternoon. And then I don't know if I lost a bet somewhere along the line, or if I just was really set on free dinner. But we might have done a little bit of filming with muscle suit and a guy on a horse, and yeah, I don't know. I do want to say that was the first time my six pack has been back in a really long time. So yeah, I don't know if those are gonna surface, but we had a lot of fun anyway, and I got free dinner out of it, so it's all good. Um, and we had a lot of fun doing it. There's no telling what the neighbors thought. There's no telling. I'm sure they'll probably leave me alone, I guess, after that. but
Well,
but
you were such a good sport to put it on. When Destry and I first started talking about getting together doing this stuff, we had talked about, wouldn't it be cool to have muscles drawn on, a person's body as you're riding? And so I have found these muscle suits on Amazon, and I brought him with me, and so he was such a good sport and put it on and rode a horse around. And so yeah, we're gonna, I think I did make a short on YouTube, so you'll have to look for it.
uh, I want to say that we got good footage of like muscles contracting and relaxing, but I think that thing must have been a little snug and stretched out. I don't know if there was much contracting or relaxing going on. There's probably just a lot of what looked like contraction at that time. No telling. Oh God. Yeah, maybe I'll go viral. But anyway, so bonus race. We were so busy. I mean, I was overwhelmed by the amount of support that we had there, and thank you to Renee Bowling for giving us that opportunity. Thank you. That was incredible. It was far beyond what we expected, and we got to help a ton of people. Can't wait to see them again, and just giving some people a different perspective on what's out there for them and how they can help themselves and help their game and help their horse. I mean, so many people would come back and be like, man, I didn't realize, how far behind I was before. And then, I do these few simple things, and, whether it was we help their range of motion or help their pain or whatever. And they just were like, I haven't rode like that in so long. And that was after, one treatment. And one lady came back, she was upset with her run, and she got worked on, and she's like, I need a performance program. I really need to do something. And she called me. I put the program together, and she called me the next day and was like, man, I'm so excited. I know it's just the first day, but I did the workout this morning, and I just felt like a completely different person on my horse already, just from activating those muscles and stretching a different way and things like that. I mean, she was just so ecstatic about where she could go from there. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I can't wait. You feel like that after one day. I can't wait to see where you are in a month. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff to talk about there. Um, Becky, do you want to tell them a little bit about our clinic? We had a great turnout, really, and and got to show them a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So it was really good. People were great. They engaged, they got up, they did the range of motion screening with us, and people were, they did notice that they had one side was more limited than the other. And so we talked about that, putting them at risk for injury when they are limited in one side versus another. And then it was fun because we talked about, can you reach down and touch your toes? And a lot of people couldn't. And then there was one girl that she actually was able to palm the floor. And I hadn't even really noticed that of her yet. And I said, if you can reach to the floor, you probably need more stability and more strength. And she said to us afterwards, she goes, man, you guys, you just hit the nail on the head with me. She said, I don't know, was it like a year ago? She had come off of her horse and actually had fractured her wrist. And so, she was like a big light bulb moment for her, that she needed more strength. Um, so that was exciting. Yeah, we got people doing exercises in front of the bleachers and they were doing their stretches, and that we showed them a dynamic warm up that they could do before they ride. And then we were able to go into showing them stretches for their horse. And we talked about, cooling down, how to help their horse with recovery. And then we ran out of time, but it was a really good event. Renee puts on a great show and really well run. And again, yes, we are so thankful for her allowing us to come down there and the opportunity to share with people what we do. And we worked on a lot of people that had back pain, hip pain, neck pain. Those were some of the diagnoses that I treated while I was down there. How about you, Destri?
I mean, lots of everything, and people that had pain and been to multiple practitioners for years, and I got asked the question a lot. We had our table set up there in the breezeway, and they're like, "Are you a chiropractor?" I'm like, "No, I'm an athletic trainer. I use different types of soft tissue mobilization, stretching, and some muscle energy techniques to get you to help the rotation in your pelvis and get you back in neutral, but also change the way the muscles are, whether it be their length or tension or whatever, to help you stay in neutral as well." And it's great, just helping whoever I could. And sometimes I don't know if I was helping people because I was the only show in town or if they just wanted something different. I don't know, but I enjoyed it, and they seemed to get value out of it. So, um, it was a lot of fun to be able to show them a different way of doing things rather than just the, stuff that they were typically used to or they might seek out, and hopefully give them some lasting effects. I sent them all exercise programs, got their information, sent them all exercise programs after to help continue their care. So hopefully they got some use out of that as well.
Good. Yeah. And I think, that's, people don't understand what we can do. And that's why we wanted to do that so much is, because people will say, well, are you a chiropractor, or, are you a massage therapist? And I explain just very similar to what you say, about you can do soft tissue stuff, muscle energy things. We work really well with chiropractic, and it was so nice to see you and the chiropractor visiting about different people. I think you guys even shared a couple people, didn't you, that were, maybe the chiropractor had a hard time adjusting. And so you helped get some of the soft tissue loosened up a little bit, and then the chiropractor could make an adjustment. But I say we're very different from each other in a lot of ways, but it's kind of like peanut butter and jelly that, they aren't the same thing, but they are so good together. And that's the way I feel like we are with our approach to things. We are here to complement other healthcare providers, not compete with them. And so I think the things that we can offer really enhance the other areas of your care. So I think it's great that we can all work together instead of trying to be competition.
I agree, and having Dr. Jill there right next door was great. And there's definitely people that I was like, man, you would benefit more from what she's doing rather than, or here's what I can do, and it would help her do this, or, help the adjustment last longer, or help it go in easier or whatever. Just having her there was a game changer, and just right next door so we could treat these people the best way possible. And like you said, it all works together and we're all in it to help people. So it's not a competition. That competition stuff happens at the bottom. At the top, we like to collaborate. So, man, it was really fun, and just, I think once we kind of explain just to other practitioners what we do as well, I think it opens their mind up. That we were set up right out there outside of the arena, and people walk by. They kind of walk by a few times and be eyeing us over there, like, "What's that guy doing?" I've never seen somebody do something like that. And then eventually they come back and talk to us, and we had some interest in our rider performance program. So I worked on those last week and got them sent out. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. But the one cool thing about being set up in the breezeway is I got to see all the reactions. I mean, when somebody came out of their run, I got to see them either happy and ecstatic, or, not real thrilled about their run, or maybe concerned about their horse after they came out. If their horse didn't perform like they thought they should and they thought something was off, well, we were set up right by the vet. I mean, they go right over to Dr. Dobie and get their horse taken care of and checked out and make sure that their animal athlete was good. And some people would come out and they'd come right over, and their run didn't go the way that they wanted it to. And they'd be like, "Man, can you help me? This is what I really struggle with. My back is killing me after this run," or "I just felt like my horse was leaving me behind," or "My hips are tight or locked up," or whatever it was. And, or, they get whipped back and their neck hurts. And I mean, whatever it was, we tried to do the best we could to help them. And then after that, they go on, and they come back and say, "Man, I feel like I rode my horse better." And it was just one simple tweak that we might have did there. So, um, it was really cool to see all that come together for them.
For sure. I wish I could have stayed and helped more at the bonus race finals, but Gracie had her high school finals in Burwell. And so I drove from Shawnee and got into Burwell about 12:30 that night. And I got a text the next day from the secretaries that sports medicine wasn't there and they had a goat tire that sprained her ankle. And so I was the impromptu sports medicine at the rodeo, which honestly, it was great because got to see a lot of goat tires, quad strains and goat tires, sprained ankles, weak ankles, back pain, pole bender that had fell off a couple weeks before. She is still getting some back pain. And it was really cool because her dad came up to me and he's like, she hasn't felt this good in her back like in years, because she had injured her back actually in gymnastics when she was younger. And so that was really rewarding. Worked on the grounds crew because they were hurting. They'd been putting in a lot of hours. So the rodeo committee guy, well, two of the rodeo committee guys worked on those guys as well. So kept me busy, bull rider, saddle bronc rider. So a little bit of everything, a little different than what I in my normal wheelhouse, but I think it all went good, and I was very, very happy to be able to provide that service to the high schoolers. And so that was good. And then this weekend I broke back out again. So I haven't barrel raced since March, and the cobwebs were there for sure. And I've been riding. My horse actually suffered an right SI joint strain the end of March. And then we got busy with high school rodeos. And once we got him kind of lined back out, I got back on and rode, but I hadn't made a competition run until this weekend. And so it was very humbling because I rode not so great. And I will be the first person to admit that. And so I did text Destri and I said, hey, I need a program because I've been very busy and I have not been able to work out consistently. And I wanted to share this today because I'm not the only person on earth that has inconsistency with my workouts. I'm not the only person that gets that back to barrel racing after a long layoff. And so I wanted to share this with you guys because, you know, my horse was good. He was really good. I didn't feel like there was a lot of residual stuff from his SI joint strain. And I did use a microcurrent on his pelvis, and I left it on there while I was overnight and took it off right before I ran. And I had K-taped him in his SI joint. So I feel like that was maybe helpful, but my timing was off. My reins were long. I got left behind. All the things that I tell people, like, hey, these are the things that we can help you with. So I'm like, I got to practice what I preach. So I text Destri and I'm like, you've got to get me a program because I just felt slow. I felt my timing was off terrible. And so he got me a program already. I'm going to start it tomorrow. I had been working out, but just not consistently. And that's the thing, like the consistency has to be the key. Consistently doing things to get myself stronger. And so, and then we've talked a little bit about, like, I felt like I was just kind of in a fog, and whether that's due to nutrition, or it was 100 and some degrees today, or whatever it was. But I'm like, I need to wake up. So I was doing a dynamic warm up. I was running through the stall barn with high knees. I was doing butt kicks. I was doing karaoke's, anything to get me like firing a little bit more, because I'm like, I need my nervous system to be woke up today. And so I did ride a lot better today. But it's still, now I need to, I need to just get faster because I was kind of slow. But I executed everything that I needed to today, other than just being fast. It was really smooth and pretty. Emma was really getting after me. You got to go to the gym. And so it's yeah. So I'll keep everybody updated on my, and I'm going to enter more, you know, kind of as we were talking about with Sonia, Sonia's conversation about, you know, parenting high level kids too. We need to enter. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or not. Like, if you get nervous in a high pressure situation and there's a lot of big dogs there, like, you just need to enter more in those situations to get used to that. And same thing, like, I have to get my timing back. Like, I didn't want to really go back today because it was going to be super hot. And I was mad at myself. And I thought, you know, people probably think I'm a fake in that, you know, I'm not practicing what I preach, but I made myself go again today because I knew it would be better, and it did get better. And I needed that run right away again and not wait another week or another month or whatever. So
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta stay going, and that way you can get your timing down, and it's okay to have the smooth, pretty run, and then continue to add speed so you have a good foundation and get your confidence back and get back in the groove of things. I mean, we both cracked back out this weekend. I went to roping Friday night, first time in too long, and my horse was finally done being a barrel horse for a weekend, so I got her back and was able to just go to a local jackpot and have fun. And you know, it felt good. I'd been working on some stuff on the dummy. I hadn't been practicing a whole lot, but I was still working on my swing and my grip and stuff on my rope. And you know, it worked out a few things there where everything just felt so much better and natural. And so just the mental part of it, of, you know, I took a different approach when I went to the roping and wasn't pressured up. There's no pressure. It's just a small weeknight jackpot, and you're going to figure yourself out and find out where you're at, and put your money up a little bit. And so it was just fun to get to go do that. And no matter what was going on throughout that roping, did my best on every steer. Didn't try to force anything, just let everything happen in front of me, make the throws I needed to make. And to the point, well, this is kind of funny. So throughout the roping, you know, I'm sticking steers pretty good, and then in the third round, me and this guy, we got two good ones down, and we draw one that runs really hard and comes left on top of me, and then went back to the right really hard, and I was a little off balance, and I threw and missed him, and so we just ride off to the end of the arena. And didn't think anything of it. Well, at the end of the round, they're calling our names again, and I'm like, what in the world? So I rode up there to the judge or the guy flagging. I'm like, are you guys giving us another one? They're like, oh yeah, that steer was terrible. You guys, whatever. And he didn't fit them at all, and most of them were, pretty straight and narrow lopers, whatever. This one didn't fit, but we didn't think anything of it. And I guess I made the joke. I was like, well, I hadn't missed any all night, so he must have thought that because I missed that one, hey, that one don't need to be on them or whatever, But it's not that way. Oh, but anyway, it's just fun, and to be able to go compete and just enjoy myself. And it was so fun to listen to Sonya talk about go and go to the big things, go and put your money up at the big stuff, see where you stack up, and surround yourself with that high level competition because you naturally rise to that competition. So my wife, she hates watching me roping a 10 or a 9 or something. Anytime I rope in a 12 or 13, I rope completely different. And my game plan is completely different, and it shouldn't be, but it just naturally is because of the guys in that roping and how they're pushing and just the different pressures of that level being in a 12 or 13 versus a 10 and different ball game. The cattle are stronger, and it just looks a lot different. You have to elevate your game to be in those higher numbers. So a lot to relate to there.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of really good take homes with that interview. Mm-hmm.
So had a really busy few weeks. We had we had the bonus race, we had high school finals, my horse party. If she wants to be on here, I'm sure she'll walk behind me here pretty quick. So she's all sweaty, looking like, man, it's not for me. Hello, party girl. She's a princess. That's the way. And then we had 9 puppies in the middle of all that. So 9 Aussie pups. So be looking out for them too.
And I had 6 kittens. So
You had
yes,
6 kittens.
6 kittens. So I'll get you some kittens
Yeah.
down there.
Oh yeah. That's just what we need, more barn cat. Our barn cats your kittens better hunt because our barn cats hunt.
Mm. They
So
should. Mhm.
I'll go ahead and close it out. So thank you for listening. And as always, let your health be the pivot point to your success.